Have you ever considered that the most irritating people in your life, the most difficult people, the ones that rub you the wrong way the most, maybe you even hate them, those are the best things that could have happened to you. Those are your best co-creators. And if you keep watching this video, you can watch how situations like this with conflict and dealing with people that you really don't want to deal with can actually help you to create the life of your dreams. I'm Nathan, your excitement, fulfillment, and freedom coach, and I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness who's committed to showing you how to really transform your life. And if you apply what I have to teach, I promise you will see results. But you gotta apply it. Now, it might seem kind of dubious to say that these people that you really don't like, the ones that are the most irritating and that cause conflict or that lash out at the world or whatever, anything you could say about it really, it might seem kind of dubious to say that these people are of benefit to us, that they can help us reach better places in our lives. But you are the creator of your reality, remember? You're the one who decides what meaning anything has. You're the one who decides something is positive or that something is negative, regardless of if it's a preferred thing or an unpreferred thing. There's a very distinct difference because there's obvious things that you prefer or don't prefer to happen. But when you label something as negative is when you get a negative result. Like, I'll give you a story of something that happened to me recently. I'm just minding my own business, right? Walking through a parking lot back to my home, and I'm in the middle of the parking lot, kind of doing a long diagonal cross. There wasn't anybody when I started my cross, but someone comes up and they lay on their horn. And I'll admit, I'm not perfect, okay? I'm still working on letting go and healing my own stuff. But what did I do? I chose the negative route. I decided to turn around and flip them off. So that exacerbated the situation because I immediately defined it as negative. I retaliated with a negative retaliatory, action. And that made the problem worse. I would imagine if I were to just ignore it completely and remain in the positive energy state, that nothing would have came from it and I would have moved on. But no, I decided to take it personally. I made the conscious choice, even if it was a knee-jerk reaction, to lash back out at that other person because apparently, I still have a belief system that says that it benefits me to hold others accountable or something along those lines when I feel that they've wronged me. And, that's not it. That's not the way. So anyways, we of course get into this huge argument. It's a bunch of extremely negative back and forth conflict and argument and fighting. And eventually I just, decided to give up and move on. So I just walked away from the situation. This person was, we were both projecting a lot of negativity towards each other, but I decided to just end it and walk away. And after a few minutes, I decided to go with the positive route. And I was like, okay, I attracted this situation into my life. Why? What vibration was I in to attract and manifest this situation? Well, I remember when I was walking back, I wasn't feeling that great. I was feeling kind of down. So there's probably a reason. Not like we need to sit here and figure out exactly what happened in order to make this happen. But generally, it's an understanding that, I was in kind of a low vibration. And also, there's probably a belief system that still need to be ironed out. Just like I said, about feeling the need to lash out or feeling the need to retaliate to someone that I'm perceiving is doing anything against me. So the point is that eventually I got the positive result because I learned from it. I decided to label and see this as a positive situation because, the majority of people who don't know this as a principle would just see it as a negative situation and they're like, oh, screw that person. They're such an idiot. They're so ignorant and stupid and they're dumb and they are a bad person. That's what they are. And I'm going to go tell everyone all my friends, everyone at work, how terrible of a thing this was and how it happened to me. And we can all condemn this person together as a group, right? As I tell them how stupid and wrong they were, blah, 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 exacerbating negativity, just talking on and on and on about negativity. But instead of that, I decided to just learn from it, to just be like, okay, this person was showing me how I can be more unconditionally happy, how I can be more unconditionally loving, like to love people even if they're screaming in my face. So how do you really use these negative situations to your benefit, these negative people? It doesn't even have to be a random person. It could be someone that you know and have a relationship with, and you simply are in a conflict with them, you're in an argument, whatever. It doesn't matter. It can apply to any relationship with a human, no matter how short or long, and how it actually benefits you. How does that work? Well, firstly, understand that these responses from these people has way more to do with them than it has to do with you. And sure, you attracted it into your life because you're a vibrational match to the situation, but none of what they do is on you. None of what they do is your responsibility, and none of what they do has any sort of dictation on who or what you are as a person. Like, you're not a bad person because you attracted a bad situation. So if you apply and actually believe in the principle that everything benefits you because you are the creator of your reality, so everything is positive and everything is of benefit to you, everything is for your growth, then you can apply that here. Whatever craziness is happening, it must be happening for a positive reason. Say that to yourself. Maybe say it out loud if you want. Write it down if you're, reflecting later on it. This happened for a positive reason. This thing that I don't prefer, that maybe I had a knee-jerk reaction of retaliation, it happened to me for a positive reason. What is that reason? When you get into that mindset, you open yourself up to receiving the benefit. When you label the situation or the person as negative, you close yourself off from receiving the benefit. And kind of paradoxically, you still receive a benefit because everything is benefiting you. You're just massively delaying this benefit. You're not allowing it to be in your now reality. And at the end of the day, everything that is happening in your life is happening within your vibration. You're the only one in your reality. Everyone else is an individual person, but they are in their own reality. The version of them that you see in your reality is your created version of them. So nobody is doing anything to you. I don't care what situation it is. Nobody is doing anything to anybody. You're only doing it to yourself because you're the one who's putting out a vibration. You are. And when something comes back that matches that vibration, you hand your power, you could hand your power away to it by saying, these people or this situation is against me. They're doing things to me. And that's when you create that as an experience, because you're saying this is happening to me instead of for me. So nobody can really do anything to you because they're in their own reality. You can interact with these reflections, these people that are reflections of you that you've created, and you can create the experience, the illusion experience that you're having something done towards you, but that's simply just not how it is. You're just agreeing that this is happening. You're creating the experience that this bad thing is happening to you. So if you can do that, why not create the experience that things are happening for you, right? That's how you really use the situation to your benefit. It's how you define the experience. It's your belief system surrounding your relationship with everything and everyone and society as a whole. Because if you have the relationship that the government's out to get us all, and the neighbors that you fight with, they're bad people and they're always against you or whatever, that's what you're gonna get because you're the creator of your reality. The indicator that you still have a negative belief system is the emotional reaction. When you get into that conflict with a person, you got, basically two outcomes. Outcome one is you don't react at all. Outcome two is you have the emotional reaction. Now, outcome one might more easily happen when it's like, imagine someone comes up and they're like, I hate 3-armed people or 4-armed people. I hate people with 4 arms. I hate them so much and I hate you. It's like, what's your reaction gonna be? You're probably gonna be like, okay, moving on. That has obviously nothing to do with me because I have 2 arms. I don't have 4 arms. This person must just be like, going through something right now. So whatever, let's just move on, right? If anything, you might laugh at it. But if someone comes up and says something and you have the emotional reaction, the retaliation, it means that you actually believe that what they're saying might be true. So going back to the example I had earlier where this person's yelling at me, I might believe it's true that all these things they're saying about how I'm a loser or I look like an idiot or whatever else, all these negative labels, I might believe that's true. And then that causes me to retaliate with anger and frustration and argumentation and just lashing out at them, talking at them, because deep down I think that I'm not good enough, basically, which is what caused me to react that way in that moment, which is why it was beneficial to me for that to happen. Do you see? Because in that moment I could have, and I did for somewhat, but I know there's still some to do, but I let it go. I was like, no, I am good enough. No, I do look confident. I do look sexy. I do look amazing. I don't look like an idiot. I don't look like someone who's depressed or something. I love myself regardless of what's happening around me, regardless of what other people say. This was that opportunity to truly transform the belief system. And that one among many others, because it's not like it's just one, but that was the beautiful opportunity. So it's like I could have said, oh, thank you for showing me I wasn't loving all of myself. Thank you, person who's screaming at me. So the only truth in your life is what you say is true about yourself. That's how you can hand your power away, like I said earlier, because if you react to this situation, you're agreeing with them that this is true. So it's just an opportunity, any conflict, it's an opportunity to practice more alignment with yourself, with who you are, instead of going with the knee-jerk response. It's another opportunity to feel more of your self-worth. It's an opportunity to grow and expand and evolve. It's an opportunity to step into your dream reality even further. Because I can guarantee you what's part of your dream life is not dealing with nonsense like that. So when you look at it so directly, when you give it so much of your attention in a retaliatory and reactionary way, that's when you solidify it as a reality. And you don't allow the dream life to come in because you're giving so much attention to what isn't your dream life. Do you see that? How your bandwidth is going towards that negative situation instead of the dream reality? These unwanted things cause you to expand. They cause you to create more, to add more to your vortex. The better version of the person, the better version of the situation is immediately in the vortex. So the reason why it feels so terrible to get into a conflict with somebody is because, the moment that you do, you're immediately creating the vortex version of the whole ordeal. You're creating a version of them that is good with you, that you have a better relationship with. You're creating a situation where you're, not having to deal with that. You're in peace. You're in harmony with people around you. So that's instantly created. It's instantly there. And so your higher self, it's always focused with you. It's always focused on what you're focusing on. But it has the vortex version. It has the better, more positive outlook and opinion on what's going on. So the moment that you get into that argument or conflict or whatever, you have your higher self who is focused on that solution, right? The one that's immediately created, and you're not there because you're focused on the negativity. Do you see how that's why? Because like I talk about, your emotions are indicators of how in alignment with your higher being you are. So if you're deliberately not going to where your higher self went, that's why it feels terrible. That's why you feel taken advantage of. That's why you feel wronged. That's why you feel angry and upset and sad or whatever else, is because you expanded, but your physical self chose not to. Your higher self is in this bliss and this love unconditionally. It's sitting in this energy of the solution to your problem, and you're still in the problem. You've diverted your energy from your higher self. Like maybe you were chilling, you're having a great day, and so you're positive emotions and you're with your higher self. This conflict happens, you choose to label it as negative, which disconnects you from your higher self. Do you see how that works? It's just because you're not becoming the new version of yourself. You're not hitting, the update button on your software. You're choosing to stay with the old version. You're choosing to react negatively still. So really, and especially with people that you more know and are more commonly in your life, it's not about requiring them to be in alignment, for them to be doing good, to be behaving in the right ways in order for you to do so. That's called dependency. You don't need other people to be a certain way in order for you to be good. And if you do, that's called dependency. You're codependent. You don't need other people to behave in the ways that you see fit for you to feel good. And that's how you use any situation to your benefit, is by remaining in alignment. And when you recognize that you're out of alignment, you went with the negative option, don't beat yourself up about it. Just simply move towards the alignment again. Just be like, oh, I was getting a little out of hand there. Let's just move back to who I was. We're not going to beat up. We're not going to judge myself, because the reason those negative emotions are there is to tell you you're out of alignment. So why beat up on yourself for your guidance system telling you that you're out of alignment? It's there for a reason. Don't label yourself as not good enough because you weren't perfect for a few minutes or a few days or whatever. Because, contrast is a regular part of life. Suffering is not. There will always be contrasting experiences, but it's when you define it as negative is when you receive suffering. Suffering is an option. It's only there when you resist what's going on, when you define it as negative and as bad and as this shouldn't be happening. That's when you suffer. And if you don't know what you're doing, so many people will do that, and so many people will constantly suffer. So sure, I can understand why people would think that suffering is a natural part of life, but it isn't. But you might as well get used to the contrast. The fact that there are going to be things that happen that you don't prefer, but your reaction and relationship to those things, it's how you receive a benefit or a detriment. So let go of the struggle, let go of blame and criticization, let go of trying to get people to behave in certain ways. Their behavior is irrelevant. You're not here to police behavior. You're not here to label or to quantify behavior. You're not here to talk about other people's behavior. You're not here to be like, discuss it and to figure out like what was good, what was bad, what was medium. Who gives a fuck? You're only here to figure your own life out, to choose your own happiness. Because when you're trying to police and quantify other people's behavior, that's when you're going to have a never-ending job, because people are always doing all kinds of things. You can never control other people, but you can control yourself. You can control how you react to the world around you. And when you change that, you change the world. You shift literally to a different reality. So just let go of the conversation of what other people should be or shouldn't be doing, how they should be treating you, how they did or didn't treat you, unless it was positive. Go on and on about that. If there's something that was great and wonderful and positive, talk more about that. Talk more about what was great and lovely. Put energy and focus into that. This is why the people that grief you the most are your best co-creators, because once you can let go of the struggle, all that nonsense, and become who they helped you become, then you can really appreciate that situation. You can see clearly that this for sure benefited me, and I believe it to be so. That experience helped me to become more of who I am, to love myself even more, and to offer them an opportunity to love themselves more via me loving myself and loving them unconditionally. Anyways, as you apply this, recognize you're not going to be perfect at it, because sometimes it can be very challenging to confront limiting belief systems that are brought up. But when you recognize that is there to benefit you, and you come at it with certain kinds of mindsets like I talk about in my videos, it will absolutely help you to let it go. But you're not perfect. Don't expect yourself to get it right on the first try. Don't give up because you didn't get it right the first few times. Just work on it. Work on it. Let go of other people's opinions and reactions. Who cares what they have to say? And through these difficult people, you can create the life of your dreams. And as always, thanks for watching.